All right, what's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? A lot of Errol Spence and August news when it comes to the day for the Black Goose TV channel. And I'm like, why not, man? We're getting closer and closer for the August Spence fight, so it only makes sense for us to go ahead and talk about it a little bit more than usual. Because, hey, it's a big fight. I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it to happen. But one of the bigger stories behind the fight is what will happen afterwards. Because, if August beats Spence, August has already came out and said, I want the Terence Crawford fight. We can make that happen, right? Now, we've seen Spence himself say he would love the Crawford fight. He thinks it's easier to make now, but he never specifically or directly said that's what he wants next. There was actually speculation that Thurman would be next for him. He kind of alluded to the fact that there was a possibility he would fight Keith Thurman. Now, nothing extra because we're talking about Spence. Spence doesn't allude to nothing. He kind of gives out snippets, and then us as boxing media, we kind of take what we can from it, right? But in this particular video from the headline, I haven't watched it yet. That's why it's a reaction. We finna watch this joint together, Black Goose TV family. But it seems as if Errol Spence finally, puts it out there like, yo, I'm not looking for the Keith Thurman fight. Let's go ahead and just gear toward Terence Crawford. Now, how y'all feel about that? I don't know. How I feel about that, it's like a win-lose situation. I would love to see Spence versus Thurman because I think Thurman stylistically is very hard for Spence, but we all know the biggest fight in welterweight history. That might be a little bit of a cap, right? The biggest fight in welterweight history. But, one of the fights that, I would say is one of the most anticipated fights when it comes to the 147 division, at least of our era of right now, would be Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. So you can't get mad at him for saying it. But if he did, in fact, say it, it's kind of reminiscent of, if you guys remember when Keith Thurman was the top dog and Errol Spence was calling out Keith Thurman in a particular press conference, Thurman was like, it's not your time yet. You need to wait. And Spence was just like, it sounds like you scary, da-da-da-da. So it's interesting to see Spence in this position. And if he does end up saying that, he's saying the same thing. And it kind of tells you how boxing goes. Ain't nobody ducking no one. It's business, right? So let's listen.
Your accident, you took on Danny Garcia, which was a surprise to a lot of people, being a former world champion. And you handled him pretty easily. How much better do you feel coming into this fight after that performance?
I feel great. I feel like, coming from that performance, it was a lot of, wear and tear on my body from the accident. And I allowed myself to recover.
Can I ask y'all this real quick, too? Do you guys think Errol Spence's speech, like the way he talks, do you feel like it's changed just a little bit since the accident? Obviously, you guys remember he had to get his whole grill, changed, surgery, facial surgery. Me personally, yeah, I think, I always thought, Earl was, kind of slow-winded when it comes to talking, and he kind of took his time. But I think, like, now that I listen to him more, I'm like, there's definitely a change of how he used to speak to now, and it has to do with that surgery. That's my opinion.
I don't think I allowed myself to recover enough, so I think I had a lot more recovery time, and I feel great. Feel like my old self, and I'm ready to go.
How much does having a nutritionist, I know you've always tried to do it on your own, but how much having a nutritionist help you? And can you see yourself staying at 147 a lot longer with a nutritionist?
I don't know, but it helped me a lot. It take a lot of pressure on me. And, I just let him do what he do. And, he's one of the best in the game. It got me drinking water. It got me eating right, basically getting everything that my body.
Spence just said he got me drinking water and he got me eating right. Are you telling me if you was doing this yourself all the way up to this particular fight, nigga, you wasn't drinking water like that and eating healthy in the right way? If that's the case, this is a motherfucking dog. Y'all think that? Y'all believe that? Bro, he said he got me drinking water. Like, what else are you drinking in camps? You drinking Sprite? You think you Floyd? Nigga?
He needs to, prepare for this fight and get ready for this fight. So, it's just a smart thing by me just to get nutrition down, let him handle it, especially with me getting older.
Errol, a while back, the guy who's fighting Jermell Charlo for the undisputed super welterweight title, Brian Castano, in the interview that I had with him, told me that in your guys' amateur bout that he knocked you down twice. Is that true?
No, he never knocked me down. No.
Let me ask you this, Earl. In boxing,
why would he say
the
that?
thing
man?
that gets a lot of people excited, man, is the trash
Random
talk.
question,
I know
too.
that in the recent weeks, with Blair Cobbs obviously having his name, your name in his mouth, that we see what happened. We saw what happened. Do you feel that in boxing it's something that's missing? I mean, it was definitely something that went viral, but for a fighter like yourself, you do your talking in the ring and you're a showman. But do you think that boxing is missing that as far as the antics, the trash talking?
No, nigga, what are you talking about? What type of question is that?
I don't think so. I mean,
It's a weird
of course,
question.
you're gonna have some people that do that, but I'm not the person that does it. I mean, if somebody say something to me, I definitely say something back. But I'm not the guy to just antagonize somebody because at the end of the day we're gonna get in the ring, we're gonna fight. So it doesn't matter what you say to them. That's how I feel about it.
Errol, what are your thoughts on possibly going up to 154? That's also been rumored that.
I just randomly thought about this, but I wonder if obviously he does consume alcohol, on his off days. I wonder what he's like. Does he talk faster? Like, is he energetic? I just can't see. Like, if I was like were to chill with Errol Spence, I just couldn't see him being like hyped up, like, yo, what's good, bro? Yeah. I feel like he'd just be like, yeah, I'm chilling. Yeah, tonight's good. Like, you good, bro? Yeah, I'm good. Like, damn, nigga, it don't seem like it.
Possibly after this 147, once you conquer it, given the time, plan on going to 154?
Yeah, I plan on moving. I mean, there's nobody that really just stayed at one weight their whole career. So, I'm definitely gonna move up. I just don't know when.
I remember when you were like 12-0, you wanted to fight Keith one-time Thurman, and you told me back then he thought he was the big bad wolf, and he wouldn't fight you. Is now kind of payback from how he treated you back then?
Brett just said he was 12-0, and Keith Thurman felt like he was a big bad wolf, and didn't want to fight him. But we've heard Spence say he's not going to fight Ennis because he has shit is so hypocritical in boxing.
It's not any payback at all. I have no reason to fight him. What he has for me to fight, I mean,
sounds like Thurman
he's a
back
good
then.
fighter, much respect to him and his fighting skills and things like that. But his other big fish to fry at 147.
All right, so a little bit clickbait when it comes to this particular video. He said nothing about Terence Crawford, but I personally thought the shit he said about Thurman was cap. Niggas still want to see that fight. Look, at 147, if you beat Ugas, the only other fights we want to see you is either Crawford, number one, or Keith Thurman. So don't play stupid. But remember, all the Errol Spence, fanboys, they got on Thurman when he was 12, when Spence was 12-0. You don't want to fight Spence because he's the next big thing. But Thurman's literally a legend right now, and Spence is trying to say, oh, I got bigger fish to fry. Spence, if you beat Crawford and Thurman, you're a legend. But anyways, I'm gonna leave that alone. That was my reaction to the whole video. Let me see. I'm very interested to hear what you guys had to say. How do you feel about this route with Spence basically disregarding Thurman? I think it's stupid and hypocritical, but at the same time, hey, he really doesn't have to fight Thurman. But the reason I feel so, heavy on this particular topic, obviously I'm a big Keith Thurman fan, but I just remember how Keith Thurman got dragged through the mud when Keith Thurman basically said the same thing about Spence when he was 12-0 and was like, yo, you got to work your way up to get here, boy. And niggas was like, Thurman is ducking Spence. But now when Spence says it and Thurman is solidified in the Hall of Famer, he does have bigger fish to fry, right? Cap, nigga. Cap, nigga. But anyways, y'all, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Nothing but love. I got maybe like one more video for y'all, and I'm going to get everything posted. But keep